Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena. You're watching our video review of the ZTE SPRO 2. Now, this is first and foremost a mobile hotspot, but it features a touchscreen, a 5-inch display here. It's running Android, and the other cool thing about it is that it features a built-in projector, and it's going to be coming out to AT&T shortly. Okay, so it's built first and foremost as a hotspot. So the design's obviously inspired by that, but it's an immense size hotspot. It's weighty, it's heavy, so if you were to drop it, it wouldn't probably handle it all that well. But the design is straightforward. It's squared in shape. For a projector, it's very compact, far more compact than most of the things out there. It's made of plastic. You have some textured pattern to the side. The nice thing about it is that if you hold it on the left side or on the right, depending on how you're left-handed or right-handed, if you're looking at something in the web browser or trying to interact with the display, you're not going to interfere with what's on there. So if you look around, you have dedicated power button. It has the trio of capacitive Android buttons. On the left side, you have the volume controls. The right, just the vent for the unit's fan. And on the front, you have the projector itself and what looks like to be a camera, but this is actually used for the Keystone autocorrect feature of the projector. And for a mobile hotspot, it is filled with some useful ports. You have the 3.5mm headset jack, USB 3.0 port. You have also a full-size HDMI port, so you connect a variety of stuff to this, whether it be a gaming console system or another device. The proprietary charging port, SIM slot, and the micro SD card slot. And at the bottom, you have just your typical mount for your tripod. And you have the latch here, so you could actually elevate it. The display here is a 5-inch 720p touchscreen. It's very usable, more than detailed enough for what we're going to use it for. And on top of that, it has some really nice qualities. It's pretty strong with this brightness output, and the view angles are not that bad, so it's quite usable in a variety of different conditions. At least the experience is pretty straightforward. It's running what ZTE calls the Z-Path experience. It's the custom UI skin. It's running on top of Android 4.4.4 KitKat. And the nice thing about it is that you have access to the Google Play Store, so you can download all the apps you're used to. The only ones that really won't work are anything that have to do with the camera. So if you're trying to access some sort of camera function with an app, it's not going to work because obviously it doesn't come with one. The home screen here is laid out into different categories on top. You have home, settings, media, office, and apps. You could switch through them. Again, it's straightforward. There's not a whole lot of personalization. And it's basically a tile-based system. But it runs pretty fast just because it's powered by a quad-core 2.3 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 chip with 2 GB of RAM. The coolest thing about this is, of course, the projector. It's just icing on the cake, in addition to being a hotspot which can connect up to 10 devices and having the full Android experience on board. With the projector itself, it's able to project up to 120 inches at 720p resolution. And honestly, it's not bad, just as long as you keep the size manageable. Of course, the higher you go, the less detail, but in our case, we didn't have to squint. It was pretty easy on the eyes. And with 200 lumens of brightness, it's pretty good, though you can only achieve its maximum output when you have connected to a power source. If you're running off battery, you're only able to go up to the medium setting. But honestly, as long as it's a dimly lit area, it's pretty usable too. Now, in order to actually initiate or turn on the projector at any time, you can just tap this floating icon here at any given time, and you could just turn it on. And from here, there's a feature for autofocus, so it'll automatically adjust that for you. And there's also the Keystone effect correction feature. So if it's kind of tilted or it's projected at a weird angle towards this surface, it automatically will correct itself, which is pretty handy. And that's what exactly that camera is there on the front is for. Beyond that, it's just nice having the flexibility of connecting other peripherals to it, like a Blu-ray player, even a gaming console via the HDMI port. If not, you could always just use the Android experience here. You could view whatever you are doing through the touchscreen on the projector. So surfing the web, watching videos, you have access to all of that. I said earlier this is pretty heavy. That's because it's packing along a 6300 milliamp hour battery. Now, for a smartphone, that's actually pretty spectacular because we were able to get well over a day of heavy usage on a single charge. And by the end of the day, it was still over 50% battery life. Now, for a projector though, it's kind of only inches out at the 2-hour mark. So if you're watching movies longer than 2 hours, you're gonna have to connect it to a power source. Now you can pick up the ZTE SPRO 2 for the 2-year contract price of $400, or alternatively, if you want to just buy it outright, it's $500. We'd probably recommend the outright cost over the 2-year contract, just because the $100 savings doesn't seem as justified going with the contract. Now you might think $500 is a lot, but for dedicated projector units, this is far more affordable than them. Granted, the specs aren't as great, but hey, you have the functionality of having it portable. You could carry it around with you. You have a full Android experience via the touchscreen, and you could also connect a variety of different peripherals to it. It's not for everyone, but if you really need a projector, this might be something that you might want to think about. So if you guys want to learn more about the ZTE SPRO 2, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. It's John V. Thanks for watching.